All right, everyone. So I have some news and info to share with you guys today, and I actually noticed something about it that I don't know if I was supposed to, and I want to help you guys connect the dots and kind of explain why this is actually really important. And it's definitely going to be a warning to all of you guys here today. So, of course, we have a ×2 event coming up for Void Shards. I'll talk about that in a second, but first I want to talk about this message right here. And this was posted by Ranger Murr in the content creator chat. Now, if you guys are wondering why this isn't the Diamond and who Ranger Murr is the Diamond's temporary replacement. The Diamond is currently on a week or so vacation. He will be back, though, and Ranger Murr is the current coordinator for content creation. He actually used to be the coordinator before the Diamonds came around, so he is still a 100% legit official player employee, and this information is real here. So this was in response to a question by Hell Hades, and the Ranger Murr responded with the Fusion League is scheduled for Friday. Well, I'm not really too sure if it's a leak anymore, if there's a schedule for it. That doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense, but either way, we know that there is a fusion coming up. So it seems like on Friday, we are going to get more information about the actual fusion, probably the fusion champion, maybe the events that run alongside it. And why is this important here? Well, we know that there's also a ×2 event that is actually going to be starting before the fusion comes out. This was also posted by Ranger Murr in the content creator chat. Hello guys, on Friday we will launch a ×2 chance event to get epic and legendary champions from Void Shards. You can share this information with your subscribers. Well, what does this mean here, and what are the dots that really, when you connect them, it all makes sense, and why this is a pretty big warning for you guys? Well, when it comes to the fusion events, the way that they work, if you guys are newer to the game, is usually what happens is the fusions are actually a whole bunch of smaller events, just like what we actually have right here. There will be champion training events, there will be dungeon events, there will be tournaments, all sorts of stuff. And every single time that we've gotten a fusion champion in the last 6 months to a year or so, they've all kind of been the same way. They usually start off with a giant champion training, kind of like this one right here. It'll probably be 25,000, 30, 35,000 points, something crazy. But the way that the events work when there's a fusion is the rewards are typically not as good, because at certain points you'll actually get champions that you need for the fusion. So that's the incentive to actually clear out the events and tournaments. And then there will also be in the fusion screen a champion that you have a limited time in order to actually fuse it. So what this means is there has always been summoning events that also run alongside the actual fusion event. So, you know, we know that there is a ×2 void event coming up here, but right after that ×2 void event, there's going to be a fusion, and if you spent all of your shard summoning on the void event, it's going to be difficult for you to get the points from the summoning events for the actual fusion in order to complete it. So those are kind of the dots right there connected. I wanted to share this with you guys and tell you a little bit of a warning here. Now, the real question is, what do you really do? How do you go about this situation? Where do you use your shards? Do you use them for the ×2 void event? Do you save them for the fusion? And it depends a little bit right here, but let's talk about the ×2 void event, because there's also going to be a champion chase that is being launched with the ×2 event as well, which is just an added bonus for even more goodies that you can get. Now, with the summoning events, of course, we've had the ×10 events. Those ones are not going to actually increase your chances, and then the ×2 ones are the good ones. Those ones are the ones that are actually going to double your chances of epics from 8 to 16% and double your chances for legendaries from 0.5% to 1%. So as a general rule of thumb, I always say when there's ×2 events, that's your time to summon. It's almost like getting 2 shards for 1. Not quite the same, because you don't get 2 rares. Even if you don't get an epic or legendary, you still only get 1. But especially as you kind of become a mid-game and late-game player, you're really looking for those champions. You want to give yourself as best odds as you can to get epics and legendaries, and double those odds. It's never going to get any better than that. At least I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be triple events. That would be very player for them to do, though. But the ×10 ones don't actually increase your chances. All they do is actually increase you getting certain champions compared to other ones, but your chances of epics and legendaries are still the same. Now, if you are an endgame player and you've got most epics and even a good amount of legendaries, and there's only very specific champions that you are looking for, and the ×10 event rolls around and it has several of those champions that you're looking for, okay, go for it. You know, at that point, though, you've probably been playing the game for a really long time. You probably spent a lot of money, so, you know, if that's what you want to do, that's totally fine. But for most people watching this video, and most people at their current state in the game, the ×2 ones are always going to be a higher priority. So I would say that's probably going to be the path that you want to go, especially given the fact that we are also getting a Champion Chase tournament launched alongside it. And Void Shards typically end up giving a lot of points compared to like Ancient Shards. I know for the actual summon rushes, Ancient Shards only end up giving you 20 points, whereas Void Shards end up giving you 128 points. So, those of you guys who are wondering about the fusion, though, is there any way where it's better to actually skip out on the ×2 event and end up going for the actual fusion? Well, with the fusion, it's important to get the points, but the actual shards are not as important, so you don't have to use Void Shards. This ×2 event is specifically just for a Void Shard, so obviously you don't want to summon your Ancient Shards or your Sacred Shards with the ×2 Void event. Absolutely save those for later on. But also with the Fusion event, what you can do is it's a good time to end up using your Mystery Shards, because there's no Mystery Shard event, at least not now. There might have been one small one in the past, but you know, it's a great time to use them when you are specifically just trying to go for the actual points to complete the event rather than the actual increased chances for the champion. So if you guys have a lot of Mystery Shards saved up, I don't know exactly how many we're going to need for the actual fusion, but that's going to be a great time to use them if you are actually going for the fusion champion. Now that's the other thing as well, is we don't really know a lot of the information about the actual fusion champion yet. We're probably going to find out in a couple of days here, so what I'm also going to do is revisit this question a little bit later on. Once we actually find out a little bit more info about the fusion, then I will be able to more accurately tell you guys what I'm going to do, what my plans for the fusion are. It might end up being the first fusion that I've ever actually skipped out on. It's going to have to be really good, because the last fusion champion, everyone has mixed opinions, but I think most people were pretty underwhelmed by Grubtalk Mustbeard. So we'll just kind of have to see. Now, another thing that I actually noticed is if this Void event is actually starting here, you know, in the next couple of days, and we're finding out more information about the actual fusion on Friday, we should actually have more information about the fusion before the ×2 Void event ends. So what I will say to you guys is, if you want to be extra careful, what you can actually do is just wait and not summon your Void Shards immediately after the event comes out. I recommend that you guys do this anyway, because Plarium has been known to do a scumbag thing and actually delay other events that give you bonuses for shards compared to the summoning events. So, you know, for example, what they will do is they'll release a ×2 event, and then everybody will summon their shards in the first hour or two, and then, you know, they'll delay a summon rush or a champion chase, and all the people who summon their shards right away just missed out on all those extra goodies that they could have gotten. They've done this before. I think they've gotten a bit better about it, but that's why I always say, if you want to err on the side of caution, don't summon your Void Shards the second that the ×2 event comes out. You know, I always say it doesn't take that long to summon your shards. What is it going to take? 5 minutes to go through and open up 19, 20 Void Shards, however many that you have. It's not going to take you more than an hour, right? So what you could do is just wait until the last day, see what additional information we actually have about the fusion, and then come to a decision by then. And what I'm going to do is do my best to let you guys know, either in a separate video or in an update in another video. I don't know exactly how much info we're going to get, but I'll let you guys know what I'm going to do and what I think the right course of action is going to end up being. So now, if you guys want to actually prepare for the fusion, we know it's going to be coming out soon. Just a couple of little tips that I will give you guys. Obviously, we're still going to need to know more information here, but energy, energy, energy. This is the time here to really stock up on your energy, because you are going to need it not just for the campaign, but you are also going to need it for dungeons. Fusions have been known to have a whole bunch of dungeon events, you know, dungeon divers, but also tournaments that are very specific to the actual dungeon. So there will probably be like an Ice Golem tournament, a Dragons tournament, a Fire Knights tournament, and also probably a Spider tournament. There will also be dungeon divers and champion training, and the champion training is a big one. It always is with the fusions. It's always been something like 25, 30, or 35,000 points. So you're going to need to grind out a ton of points for champion training in a short period of time. And in order to do that, you're going to need a lot of energy. So especially to those of you guys who are maybe not as big spenders in the game, my suggestion to you guys is now is actually an okay time to even go overcapped on the energy, just in order to prepare for the fusion. If you're not really doing anything right now, if you're not really grinding, you want to give yourself an extra edge. If you don't have a lot of gems or refills, you could just go ahead and keep stocking up on the actual ones that you get from the dailies, the weeklies. You know, if you have the monthlies here and you haven't actually claimed your energy rewards, not a bad idea to actually keep them here for the actual fusion. And and then use all that energy to help you, finish off all the fusion events and tournaments. So that's the really big one. Also be mindful of stuff in your mailbox. If you have like double experience boosts, great time to actually use them when a fusion comes out. It's actually really funny because I just made a video about double experience boosts, and one of the things that I said, the number one way to save and use your double experience boost the best time is a fusion event if you are actually going for the Fusion Champion. So once again, we'll just have to find out more info. But this was important. I wanted to get this out there, but more importantly, I wanted to help out to actually connect the dots on why this stuff is actually important and why you want to be aware of it. So be careful with your shards, be careful with the summons. I'll let you guys know when we have some more info here. And with that being said, that's going to be it for the video. So if you guys enjoyed, you want more videos like this in the future, consider subscribing to the channel. Feel free to leave a quick like as well. It beats more than you can imagine. So thank you so much to all of you guys who decide to do that, and more Raid Shadow Legends videos should be popping up on the screen right about now, or in the suggested videos to right or below. Feel free to check them out. But if not, until next time, take care everyone, and this is Salt of the Salty Guild, signing out.